So the PlayStation 3 madness is continuing, and the latest culprit in the massive rise in PS3 video game prices is this one right here, Heavenly Sword. Heavenly Sword, for the longest time, was a $5 game, easily a $5 game. But now, thanks to the PlayStation 3 tax, this game is rapidly going up. And I've seen copies on eBay going for anywhere between $50 and $200. And this is just another one of the games that's being pumped up. Now, I've had Heavenly Sword in my collection for a while because I've always felt like Heavenly Sword was a pretty good game. It's kind of like a hack and slash RPG style game, and you guys know I love my hack and slashers. And so this is just one that I would say, if you have it in your collection, great. But if you don't, I think you can still probably find this game at video game stores for $5 to $10. This is one of those ones that I don't think people have caught on to yet, but it is a part of the massive inflation in PlayStation 3 game prices. Now, I personally think that these prices are going to go back down, but someone came in my comments on one of my other videos and said that the PlayStation situation is much different from the Xbox situation because PlayStation has officially announced that they are no longer going to be making physical games. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. I mean, I'm sure it's going to impact things, but this is definitely a weird time. And so if you can get these games for cheap, like $5 to $10, go ahead and grab them. I do have another one that I don't think has ballooned yet, and that's Dark Kingdom. Now, I do think that there's an Xbox 360 version of this game, but Dark Kingdom is another one of those on the PlayStation 3 that kind of reminds me of Heavenly Sword. That is, just all it takes is a group of people to decide that they just want to, I guess, raise the price on these games, and then boom, all of a sudden they're now $50 to $100. So keep your eyes out for these two. I think that's what you're going to see here. Now, next up, we've got some games that I picked up at GameStop recently. One is going to be this copy of Pokemon Sapphire. It is beat up, but at least it is authentic. This is probably the most beat up copy of Sapphire I've ever owned, but I sold all my Pokemon games when I sold my collection, and Sapphire was one that was actually cool. Emerald is actually really cool too, to be honest with you. But this was one that I found at a GameStop. They had it. I grabbed it. It works. Tested it. Wiped it down. Label still is jacked up. It's not the best label, but it's not. At least it's not completely torn to shreds. At least the Pokemon Sapphire is legible, and it's not destroyed. I think someone did carve their name into the back of this somewhere. You probably can't see it. Maybe you can. But nevertheless, this is the copy that I have for now. So added that in, and then was able to snag a copy of Wild Arms 4 on the PlayStation 2. Pretty decent RPG there for you guys that are into your RPGs. And then I had some online orders come in. Now, I ordered a bunch of stuff online, and out of maybe 7 games, these are the only 2 that I felt were worth keeping in the collection. The first is this copy of Dante's Inferno Divine Edition on the PlayStation 3. Picked this one up because I did have this in my older collection, and I wanted to get this one back. This is another hack and slasher. This one's a little more gruesome. Actually, it's a lot more gruesome. Dante's Inferno is pretty gruesome. But this is just another one of those games that, before I turn around, next thing you know, I look up in September and this game is like $400 on the PlayStation 3. I'm just picking up these PlayStation 3 games, the one that I've had in my old collection, while I can still get them for 5, 10, maybe $20 before they balloon. So this copy that came in was extremely clean. I mean, very good. It has the digital download code and all that stuff. Not that that's going to be worth much anymore, but just getting this copy back in the collection, I was really glad to get this one back. And then this copy came in Ninja Gaiden Black. So really glad to get this back on the original Xbox. Had this in my collection as well. Again, this copy is complete. It has everything in it. Really, really good one to have back. Glad to have it. I am a huge fan of the hack and slash genre. So picked these up at GameStop. Now, I did do a Facebook Marketplace deal for these 3 PlayStation 3 games. And I'll go through these with you. I did have Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins and the Power Stone collection in my original PSP collection. I did not have the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Heroes, so that one's a new one for me. I don't have any of the Power Stone games on Dreamcast yet. I'm gonna wait to see if I can find them in the wild or see if I can get a good deal on them. I don't want to pay full price for them because, for those of you who know, those Dreamcast games are pretty damn expensive. So I'm kind of holding the line. I'm gonna wait to see if I could find those. But Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins was a game that I played on the PSP a good amount. It was a fun one. This is probably one of the most difficult versions of Ghouls and Ghosts to play. It follows that like 2.5D art style, but ultimately the layout is pretty much the same. I'm a fan of it. I really like this game, and the prices for these games have come down quite a lot. I was able to get all of these in a bundle deal, so wasn't mad about being able to grab any of that. The one thing that I will say, the one thing that I can expect to happen this weekend is I definitely expect, while I'm out in the in the field, I expect more and more people to be out looking for these PlayStation 3 games. I think the ship has kind of sailed on like the big name PS3 titles, like the Splatterhouses and the Silent Hill Downpours and, the Dynasty Warrior Gundam games. Those games are already freakishly expensive, but you still have this niche of games on the PlayStation 3 that I guess haven't been exploited yet, that are going to be exploited pretty soon. People are about to take games like Heavenly Sword, Dark Kingdom, Dante's Inferno, some of these other games that are pretty fun, but are still really cheap, and these games are just going to start to balloon. If you don't believe me, when you're done with this video, jump on eBay and just look to see where Heavenly Sword is going. It went from being 5, then it crept up to 10, then it got up to 20, then 25, now I'm seeing 40, and now I'm seeing the prices just get crazy. And it looks like GameStop is following the trajectory, because this was like a $5 to $7 game on GameStop for the longest, and now Heavenly Sword goes for $20 on GameStop's website. I wouldn't be shocked if in a week, when you go to find Heavenly Sword on GameStop's website, if it wasn't $27.99 or $34.99, because that's what GameStop does. They follow what goes on eBay, they follow price charting, and they try to make sure that they're matching the prices. So I do anticipate a buy two get one coming up soon. I think we're about due for a buy two get one. I would much rather a buy more save more promotion, where you buy 6 games and you get every game for like 33% off or something crazy like that. I much prefer that deal, because the last time they did that, man, I got some crazy deals. I mean, some really good stuff. I think one title that stands out the most is when I got Vagrant Story complete in box during that promo. That was a really good one. But yeah, if you happen to spot any of these PS3 games out in the wild for cheap, you may want to get them. I'm not going to tell you to pick them up just because they're cheap. Pick them up if you like them and you want to play them and they fit your genre style. And if they match all of your gaming criteria, then definitely pick them up while they're cheap, because you don't want to wait until they get expensive. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you in the next one. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.